Good afternoon. This is Janet, and welcome to the monthly book review for the West End Library in Laurelton, Pennsylvania. I chose this book to review not only because of just having read it and discussing it in the monthly adult book club group at the library, but also because I feel it is a book that definitely needs to be shared. After reading this book, it is my opinion that this book should be required reading in high school literature classes. The book is an autobiography, which is not my first choice of reading, but again, I feel that this was an excellent, insightful, and informative read. J.D. Vance's story begins with some background of his family who had relocated from Jackson, Kentucky to Middletown, Ohio, to hopefully find a better life for their family. J.D. was able to spend his summers in Jackson, where running free, chasing wildlife, and being surrounded by nature were the best memories of a young boy. Basically, the family, beginning with his grandparents, went to Middletown, Ohio to pursue work that was not available in Kentucky. The most prominent person in J.D.'s life was his mama, his grandmother, who did not mince words, did not put up with any garbage from anyone, and who was not afraid to pull a shotgun on someone who disagreed with her or had any intention to do harm to her family. She was very truthful, also very observant in everyday life situations, and did not hesitate to pass this on to J.D. or his sister. J.D.'s home life with his mother was definitely a situation that added stress and untrust in his life with her many paramours. His real father was not involved in his life until later, and his stepfather was a better influence than his mother. Growing up in a home environment where screaming and yelling were the norm, Mama was J.D.'s saving grace. He could always go to her for support and perspective. Trying to survive in an environment where there was constant chaos began to interfere with schooling and his general well-being. Not ever knowing what he was going to walk into at home puts a person on constant alert. J.D.'s mother began using drugs, and combined with her temper and the numerous men in her life, it did not allow a safe environment for him or his sister. At one point, his mother was sent away for rehab, and J.D. and his sister basically raised themselves. There was a time that if J.D. had told what exactly had happened in a situation, he and his sister would have been taken away and placed in foster care. To prevent that from happening, he lied. If it had not been for his grandmother being there constantly, giving him encouragement and support, and being a huge supporter of education, J.D. would not have been as successful in his life as he has been. When he lived with Mama full-time, his academic prowess increased, and he began looking into applying to college. What he did ultimately, and he credits this decision for putting him on a path in the right direction, he joined the Marine Corps. He thrived in the Marine Corps and established not only good lifelong habits and discipline, but also the insight to realize that to be successful, he had to move away from Middletown in Ohio. When he did go home to visit, people in the community noticed a difference in him and were proud of his accomplishment. J.D. was able to attend college in Ohio, and because of his Marine discipline, he was so successful, he took increased credits each semester and was able to graduate very early. He was able to be accepted into Yale Law School, where again, his discipline worked to his advantage. Having the support of good friends he made and a very supportive girlfriend who did eventually become his wife, he was able to graduate, secure a job, and learn from his past upbringing and use that to see how to help others in similar situations as he had been brought up. The main lesson of this book that I take away from me is it's not the Rust Belt Ohio that has underprivileged homes and chaotic home situations. It's all across rural America. How to combat it is not necessarily with job opportunities, because that does not necessarily improve family dynamics or having better schools, but providing a support network for kids, a strong family, and friends in a support network is imperative to success. Those people are the ones who keep you on the right track and give the guidance and encouragement needed to make it in life. J.D. credits his grandmother for being the one who was the biggest influence in his life growing up, and his wife allowing him to question and face issues from his past. As I said in the beginning of this review, I feel that every high school student should be required to read Hillbilly Elegy.